So there's my new mixer, just arrived at the house, and that box I think was 43 kgs, and the mixer inside I think might be 36, and it took quite a lot of effort to open that box. I had to use like a sort of a bar and a hammer and a screwdriver. So there she is, and that's me testing it, just making sure that it was all working properly. And as you can see, it makes a little bit of noise. My one is the chain driven version of it, and I think the Maxima MSM8 version of this has a belt drive. And those are the first loaves of bread I made with it, and they came out really good. And this is, I think, the people who make the mixer and the Maxima mixer, they're all the same. It's called Golden Chef. And if I'm wrong about that, then maybe write a comment, because it looks like these people, this is on Alibaba, they seem to make this mixer, and there's all different versions. You can go on Google and look up Golden Chef mixer or something, Alibaba, and you see all different versions of it, belt drive or chain drive. And if you buy a certain number of them, you can put your own logo on it as well. So the one the kind of version of this that I bought is from in Australia here. It's called a CNOX, CNOX, and but there's the Maxima MSM8, so it's pretty much exactly the same. You can see quite clearly because it's got that little picture of the saying not to put your hand in it, but the Maxima's just got an extra little plate on the side, maybe for extra safety, in case maybe some child puts their hand up there, they could maybe get it up inside the bowl, which would be pretty dangerous, I suppose. So, but apart from that, it's exactly the same. So, and I'm pretty happy with my mixer now as well. And this is my old mixer. That's my Kenwood. That was quite good, but I can only do really about a half a kg of flour on that thing, and unless I go super high hydration, then I can do a little bit higher. So this is me just now. I just finished doing this. That's 1.2 kgs of flour, and I thought I'll get maybe 4 pizzas out of that, and maybe 6 naan breads. So I just threw it all in. And I put cold water in it, and it did heat up quite quick, because it's where I am here in Brisbane, it's just really pretty hot all the time, well, especially at the moment, because it hasn't really cooled down yet this year, but I think in the garage there was probably about 28 degrees Celsius, and I've been watching so many videos of people using these mixers, and they're always concerned that they don't want to get the dough temperature over about 26 degrees, and I haven't exactly worked out why that is yet. Because yesterday my one went up to about 30 degrees, and then I put it straight in the fridge, and it rose up quite nicely, and came out really beautiful. So there we go. This is there's the chain drive version, and it's 750 watt. I think the Maxima, for some reason, it says it's 450 watt. As you can see, it's pretty much nearly identical. So, and it looks like it's definitely from that place on Alibaba. So there you go. And so I set the timer for 20 minutes. But this time I don't think it needed it, because as you'll see later, once that dough starts getting really strong, then this create quite a bit of friction, and so it can warm up the dough quite quickly. And this mix has only got the one speed, so I don't know. There is one on AliExpress with 2 speeds, very similar to this, a little bit different, but I think the 1 speed's okay for me. So I haven't worked out why you need the different speeds, but to get the one with lots of speeds or variable speeds, it's way more expensive. The Fromage mixer or the Sun mix, and those are the Fromage mixers in Australia is about 2,300, I think, and this mixer only cost me $900, and then it cost $180 to get it delivered. And yesterday I did a 75% hydration. This is the 60% hydration, and yesterday it came out really nice. But for pizzas, I thought I'll just do a 60% hydration. And yes, I'm still learning all about this window painting and everything. But yeah, it's a pretty big step up for me. So just the dough, especially yesterday's dough, my 75% dough that came out, that was so smooth, unlike anything I've ever seen. Because it's really great. So if I was wondering, do I really need this mixer? But yeah, I definitely need this mixer because it's so awesome. So there we go again. So this is when it started, the dough started getting a bit hot. That might be a good thing maybe, because I throw it in the fridge. I threw it in the fridge and it just it's doing a nice fermenting in there right now. And maybe tomorrow I think I'm going to do 4 pizza balls, about 320-gram pizza balls, and then I'm going to try freezing 2 of those. And then I'm going to do 6 naan bread, and that'll use it all up. And I could have done a lot more, so it's 1.2 kgs I did, so I could have done up to, in this mixer I could do up to 3 kgs, so I could have easily done another 2 big loaves of bread as well. But then for my bread, the reason I didn't do it is because I want my bread way higher hydration than my pizzas, and I also want to maybe try adding a little bit of wholemeal in it like I did yesterday. Yeah, and that bread was so nice. Yes, it seems really strong, but so I'm not too sure if it's something to do with my hydration or just because I haven't rested it or because it was getting too hot or whatever the reason is, but I'll be able to make that into pizzas, I know that for sure. And then, so I nearly was almost thinking about buying that Fromage mixer because it lifts up, the top lifts up and you can pull, like the spiral lifts up out of the bowl and you can detach the bowl, so it might be easier to clean. So, but then the Sun mix doesn't really lift up, I don't think, but it's no problem getting the dough out. Just chop it and take it out, and then cleaning's pretty easy as well. I'll show you how I cleaned it just with a sponge. So yeah, this is just something I'll just have to practice and work out an easy way to do this. But then you definitely, as soon as you take the dough out, you've definitely got to clean it, I think, because otherwise that dough will get really hard. But then the dough is so well stuck together that it just pretty much all came out, and it was so clean anyway, even before I cleaned it. Oops, so I'm super happy, I don't know if you can tell, but it's just about the best thing I've ever brought, apart from the pizza oven, but I'm sure I can think of other things. But so I've bought a table for it now. I can just lift it. It's really heavy. It's 36 kgs. So I can just lift it. So I'll be able to lift it up onto my new table. I've got a new stainless table with wheels on it. Then I'll keep it in the kitchen, or I can roll it around. And there are other mixers that do the same amount of dough as this one that weigh pretty much twice as much, like 70 kgs. So I'm pretty glad I didn't get one of those, because I didn't realise like 36 kgs, that's pretty blooming heavy, really. So, but it's like it's not too bad. It's just pretty heavy. That's me just cleaning it. So I'll just have to learn how to clean it a bit faster. But it only took a couple of minutes, and that's just pretty much how I cleaned my other mixer as well. Even though it's a bit easier because I can stick it in the sink. But that's pretty easy to do. And yeah, I won't be going back to the stand mixer. Just the design of these mixers is so efficient, and it definitely works. So now it's just a matter of learning all the ins and outs. I'll be watching lots and lots of videos on YouTube.
How come it says no putting gloves inside it?
I think that's no putting your hand in. You have to be super careful. That's why it's got this little protector on it. You have to be a bit careful. Do you like it? Oh, be careful, don't drop it. It has to go down very gentle. That's it. Thank you.
That's a little cover?
Yeah, that's to make you so it's safer.
So no.
Be careful, don't drop it or it'll break. You have to be careful. Like we leave it like this.
Can you give me a plate?
Yeah, okay, hang on.